Hey, how you doing, folks? Today I'd like to ask one simple question. And that simple question is, what would you do? What would you do if you knew that someone close to you, your loved one, was going through suffering, was being harassed every single day, was being attacked by a silent weapon that makes your head explode, your eyes bleed, pumps air into your stomach, your feet swell? What would you do if that was happening to somebody that you really cared about? What if it was your brother or sister and you were close to them, loved them to death, and you knew that they had 200 people that were paid every day to follow them? Just follow them and harass them every single day. 200 people. They follow you in the grocery store. They follow you to work. They follow you home. They break into your house while you're gone. They break into your car. They poison you. What would you do if somebody's doing that to your sister? Would you be upset? What if it was your son? What if somebody was hacking his Xbox or his PlayStation, watching every single move that your son or daughter did in their bedrooms, at school, on their phones? What would you do? What if it was your dad? What would you do if somebody was doing that to your dad and he tried to tell you about it? For years and years and years, he begged and pleaded for your help. Would you look him in the eye, tell him he's got a chemical imbalance in his brain? What would you do if it was your stepmom and you begged and she begged and begged and begged and begged for years and she knew it was happening and people are harassing you and stalking you and attacking you, changing your life, provoking you, doing anything they can to get under your skin, hurting you physically, mentally, emotionally? And she pleaded for your help day in and day out. Would you try to commit her? Would you sign a petition to have her evaluated mentally? Try to put her in a home? Mental institution? What if it was your mom? What would you do if it was your mom? Think about that for a minute. Would you say she belongs in jail? Your mom? Somebody was doing this to your mom? How would you feel? Would you share it on Facebook? Would you tell people about it at work? Would you write a letter to the senator or Congress? What if you were a police officer and somebody was doing this to citizens in your community? Would you report it to your supervisor? Would you try to find out who's leading the way? What if you were a judge? What would you do if you were a judge? Would you make a fair decision to try and stop this? If they were hurting somebody that you loved? What would you do if you were a lawyer? Would you take a case to try and prove with all the evidence that so many of us have that this is wrong in a court of law? What would you do if you worked for CNN or Fox or NBC? Would you make sure that this got into the public's eyes? If it was your loved one? There are so many people that are being attacked. There's so many people that are being targeted. These people are deterring their lives in a path in which they can control. And when I say these people, I'm talking about the most resourceful people in the world. The United States government. When we grow up, we're taught that police are good, that they're there to help. We're taught that the FBI and the CIA is there to protect us. We're taught that the United States military would do anything and everything to protect its civilians. What would you do if you knew that wasn't the case? What would you do if your child went missing and you knew we had the technology to find exactly where they were, but nobody would use it? What would you do if it was you? Would you lay down? Just let them do it? Or would you live in fear for your family, for your loved ones around you? There's a fine line there, let me tell you. Maybe I'm different than the rest of the people in the world. Maybe that's why I'm targeted. Hell, I know I'm different. I know there's something special about me. But I know what I'd do if it was someone that I cared about and I knew it was happening. I know what I'd do if it was my brother, my father, my son, my sister, my mom, my friends. One of my best friends in the world, in the whole world. Known him since I was 12 years old. Spent 15 years in prison for something he claims he never did. 15 years of his life. I stuck by him every single day he was there. Any way I could. You know what he says to me now? Man, you're crazy. This shit ain't happening. How would he have liked it if I'd have said that to him? Man, you're guilty. You deserve that shit. I ain't fighting for you. What would you do? I know what I do. And I'm going to fight every single fucking day. Every day. Until I can't fight no more. There's days I think they're going to kill me. Nobody can even comprehend and understand some of the things that are happening to me and thousands of people. And there's no explanation why. You can try to put your finger on it and say, why would they do that? Why would they spend that money? Why? Who are you? I don't know. Obviously a threat. People that are targeted are obviously a threat to something, to somebody, to somewhere. I refuse to believe we're just lab rats, experiments for the new technology that's going to ruin the world. What if this was the mother or father of your child that was going through this? Would you keep your child away from them? Would you say, nah, that guy ain't playing with a full deck? He doesn't deserve to see his son. What would you do? I want you to ask yourself that. Anybody that questions what I do, what I say, how I say it, take 1 minute of your life and ask yourself, what would you do?